Security Act, which compels all the private companies to deduct contribution for workers' social protection, and that is why the NSSF is there. We have the social protection policy, which encompasses government programs, broad government programs on social protection. We have the Pension Act, which deals with social protection for those who are working in the government. And we have other policy framework that anchors programs and projects that should support social support for the vulnerable community.
Then those programs that you cited also?
Yes, we have, for example, under the livelihood programs include the Youth Livelihood Program, the Uganda Women's Entrepreneurship Program, we have the Youth Venture Capital Fund, we have support which we give through free tractors in districts to open land for the social vulnerable community. We have, for example, SAGE, which is the older persons grant, which we give every month. There are a series of programs that we have that anchors social protection. Current framework, which we already have, the legal framework, the policy framework. At the African Union, Uganda is chairing the social protection ministers meeting. So all those will support us in anchoring and pushing forward social protection issues, including government counterparts, regional economic communities, the private sector, but also the civil society organizations that are participating here today to hear their views and perspectives on social protection and how we can increase the amount of social protection on our continent. As you know, in Africa, only 17% of the population are covered by social protection. And we think this amount is very low because in the end, it means that these are population that will fall most likely into poverty if nothing is being done. So we need to encourage governments to increase investment in social protection. Already we have heard the Minister of Gender and Labour of Uganda this morning, and all the initiatives that is being undertaken by the Ugandan government, for which we really thank them and encourage them to continue, and also encourage them to also discuss with their colleagues across the continent so that the same measures are taken for the youth and also for the women. And so we are hoping that by the end of this workshop, which will be closing tomorrow, that we come up with concrete resolutions and recommendations for the governments, for the regional economic communities on our continent, so that they increase investment in social protection to ensure that the vulnerable populations are taken into account. And FAO's role in all of this is also to ensure that the farmer communities, the rural workers are really included, because we know that agriculture represents 60% of our income earning potential in Africa. However, we know that most of the agri-food systems workers are not included in any form of social protection scheme. So this is where FAO comes in to ensure that these workers are also included in the national social security schemes. And here in Uganda, we are happy to report that we are also working on a digital registry that will most likely be linked with the national registry, so that the needs of the farmers are